Now concerning brotherly love, you have no need for anyone to write to you. For you yourselves have been taught by God to love one another, for that indeed is what you are doing to all the brothers throughout Macedonia. But we urge you, brothers, to do this more and more, and to aspire to live quietly, and to mind your own affairs, and to work with your hands as we instructed you, so that you may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. Aspire to live quietly and mind your own affairs. Work with your hands as we instructed you, so that you may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one. 1 Thessalonians 4. God, thank you for coming to us in Jesus, Son of God, Son of Man, who lived, to die, to rise, to save us. Help us to focus on him, to walk the same way that he walked, in humility, in gentleness, in love, and respect for those you placed around him. Amen. Have you ever thought about the way that you walk? Do you raise your head up high and you look kind of down on everyone, or you just kind of scurry from one thing to the next? Do you move with big broad shoulders, chest pushed out? Maybe you have a little bit more years than some others and you walk a little bit slower than most. Maybe you have a little less years than others and you're just running all around like Sasha before she scraped her knee. Maybe you just kind of dance through life from one thing to the next. The way you walk says a lot about who you are. Are you going to stop and smell the roses? Or, oh, I don't have time for that. You know, when you walk high and you're looking down on others, they probably don't look up to you. If you're in a rush, you might miss seeing the people who actually need you. Conversely, if you're walking too humbly and you're just focused on the ground in front of you, you're also not going to see what's important. The day will be over before you realize it, or you might miss those who need you the most. Or if you walk too slowly, I'm not trying to insult anyone. If you walk too slowly, you might not get to the place you need to be on time, and that matters sometimes. I think dancing might be the best way to go. You get a little exercise, a little fun, you have the right rhythm, you have that waltz going on, right where you're meant to be, in perfect timing. Dancing through the world doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. Now, think about God. How do you think God would walk? What sort of things would be revealed through the way that he approaches the world, with his chest puffed up, looking down, or maybe he's focused, maybe he's dancing? How would God walk in this world? He's the Lord of hosts. He commands the angels and the archangels. He speaks all of creation into existence. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the eternal judge, the one only perfect being. He moved in a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire at night. He brought Elijah up to heaven in a fiery chariot. He's the one who made Jericho's walls crash down and caused giants and nations to falter and die. He is almighty, all-present, all-knowing, all-powerful, the only one worthy of all honor and praise and respect, the one who should be most glorified. You think you'd notice if he walked into the room right in front of you. There'd probably be trumpets and a myriad of angels and archangels all around him, bowing in submission. All types of people, men, women, children, all races, all tribes, all tongues, confessing, "This is the Lord," declaring his praise. It would be obvious and life-changing and, quite frankly, miraculous. God is here and he's walking into the room. Just look at him and you get to see, as he walked past, just a little bit more of who he is and how he holds himself in this world. Maybe you remember in Exodus chapter 33, maybe you'd be like Moses, when Moses hides in the cleft in the rock and God moves past him. He just sees the back of God, but his face radiates for days. He has to cover it so the people aren't afraid when they see Moses. Just that glimpse of God moving past him changed the way he was. God's holiness rubbed off on him when he moved by. If God was like us and he was seduced by power and might and he came to us in person, he would come to us riding on a war chariot or the best stallion. If it was modern days, he'd be in a fancy sports car, personally made, one of a kind. You can't buy it. You have to know someone to make it for you. There'd be musicians and dancers, and they'd block off the street. They'd have a whole security detail of 100 trained professionals, not because he needs it, he doesn't need it, but just to show off, so you can see all the people on their walkie-talkies moving up and down the streets. He's worthy of that much support and admonition, and people just being there for him. People would prepare for this day for months, if not years, maybe even decades. There'd be plaques on every wall that he moved past. God was here. Jesus was here. You'd have memorabilia from everything that he touched or every place that he spoke at. There'd be T-shirts and stickers and pins and everything you could think of, and everyone would want his signature. But he wouldn't have time to give it to anyone. His majesty would almost be a barrier between him and us if he were like us. No normal person would be able to speak with him or eat with him or really even get to know him. But that's not how he comes, is it? Instead, it's a day just like any other. And if you're going through the Gospel of Luke, you can see earlier, well, Jesus, he saw this man, Zacchaeus. He's in a tree, and he says, I'm staying at your house. He's just kind of going from one person to the next. This person needs to be healed. This person needs to be prayed with. This person needs me to just say, I see you. I'm staying at your house. And now I'm going over to Jerusalem. He's not quite meandering. He is focused. He knows where he's going, but he's not rushed either. He has just the right pace, just the right tone, just the right rhythm as he goes from one place to the next. And before he gets to Jerusalem, he sends two of his disciples. He says, go untie this colt, a foal of a donkey, an animal that hadn't been ridden yet, an animal too stubborn, who would probably buck him off at a moment's notice. But then when Jesus has that donkey, the donkey doesn't mind. It follows Jesus' guidance in his hand and listens, even though it is untrained. That's a miracle in itself. They didn't drum up a crowd or sell T-shirts, but the crowd came to him anyway. The disciples, they couldn't contain themselves as they leapt for joy, saying, look at all these things that Jesus had done, praising him for everything that the Son of God, the Son of Man, has done. This one who's too majestic to be with us is right here, now with us today. They remember the woman at the well, how strange she was. She was there in the heat of the day, and he was still there for her. They remember another crowd where people were just surrounding Jesus, and this lady, she was suffering with an ailment for 12 years, and she just barely touched him, and she's all better now. He healed those who could not see, those who could not hear, those who could not walk, those with leprosy. They can now embrace their friends. The dead had been raised, Jairus' daughter and Lazarus. What is this man, this Messiah, Jesus Christ, what is he going to do next? As he's entering Jerusalem at Passover, they can't help but celebrate, and it's a good thing they do, because Jesus himself says, if they weren't rejoicing, these rocks would be. He wasn't looking for a crowd. He wasn't seeking pleasure or people's attention. He wasn't trying to make a big deal about his glory. But just because of who he was, the people couldn't be silent about it. They saw what he had done for so many others, and they had to share. But instead of basking in glory, Jesus simply rides into Jerusalem humbly. Strong, but not arrogant. Humble, not weak. Praised, but not seeking to please anyone. He's focused and resolute. He knows exactly where he's going. Golgotha is coming at the end of the week, but he's still taking time to be there for people on the way. That time will come when it's meant to. Jesus shows us how we are to walk in this world. No matter what power or authority or ability or lordship we might claim to have, it's to be used for others, in service, selflessly, to support them. In Ephesians chapter 4, Paul commends us to walk in a manner worthy of your calling. If you know this Jesus, who's the God of all, the Son of God, Son of Man, and he humbly rides into Jerusalem to die, to rise for you. And we're meant to walk like that. It means that God will avenge us. We don't need to avenge ourselves. That's his responsibility. Our duty is to keep on walking, to stay true, to be focused, to keep moving forward humbly, in purity, in holiness, loving one another, living quiet lives, minding our own affairs, working hard, so that when those outside the church see us, they admire who we are and what we become in Jesus Christ, not dependent on them, but dependent on him who saves us. And doing this, we will have our own crosses to bear, but none of them are as heavy as his. As Jesus walks into Jerusalem, the Lord of all, who's ready to save us, the Son of God, the Son of Man, he meets that rhythm and that dance right on time when he's meant to. The tempo and the song is the Lord who's moving into Holy Week for us. Okay, I said I was a little under the weather, so we'll see how it goes. I danced in the morning when the world was young. I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun. I came down from heaven and I danced on the earth. At Bethlehem I had my birth. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I lead you all. Wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he. I danced for the Pharaoh and the Pharisees. They wouldn't dance, they wouldn't follow me. I danced for the fishermen, for James and John. They came with me, and the dance went on. I danced on the Sabbath, and I cured the lame. The holy people said it was a shame. They ripped me and stripped me and hung me on high. Left me there on the cross to die. I danced on a Friday when the world was black. It's hard to dance with the devil on your back. They buried my body and they thought I was gone, but I am the dance and the dance goes on. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I lead you all wherever you may be, and I lead you all in the dance, said he. They cut me down and I leapt up high. I am the life that'll never, ever die. I'll live in you and you'll live in me. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. I lead you all wherever you may be, and I lead you all in the dance, said he. God, as you lead us in humility, love, selflessness, help us to dance with you. Amen.